Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in the last video of the fragrance haul, I told you guys I would do an update of what has been happening at the other pop-ups I've been doing after the first one. And let me tell you guys, it has not been pretty. Um okay, let's start. So I think I had like five. I've been to five since the one you saw last time, the first one, which is a lot in 2 months, but not really. Let me explain what has happened in each one, because honestly, I've had mostly disappointing experiences. There's some good, but like, you know. But okay, so after that one on my birthday, I had did another one a week or two after that. And it was something me and my friend was doing together. She told me about it and she was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I'll switch it on my work schedule and I'll do it. Okay. Did that. Went there. I had high hopes because I know what to expect. It was in an abandoned storefront next to a rundown Family Dollar. But I'm like, hey, you know what? That's just because where it is doesn't mean I'm not gonna get a good turnout. I'll show pictures. Actually, no, I'm not gonna show pictures because I don't like exposing anyone. The inside looked like it has not been touched since the 90s. I'm like, okay, abandoned for a reason. And the leg was nice. There was like maybe 6 of us there. And it was an 8-hour event. So me and my friend was setting up, and she was telling me, Desiree, I don't think it's gonna be a good turnout. I'm like, hey, you never know. You know what I'm saying? She was right. 8 hours. Literally, no one came. No one. For anyone. So that means I made zero money. I actually lost money because you know you got to pay for these events to get into. So I was so mad. Spent 8 hours. I messed up my work schedule for a moment, and for nothing. Cause I was such on the high on the first one, cause I made over $200 my first one, but this one, no, it was a bust. Just to plain play. So yeah. And then there was this lady who was a vendor there who was buying from everyone to be nice. But do you know how much of a stink that is? That she bought from everyone except from you. Literally everyone except for me. Because she didn't like my scents. I'm like, okay, you don't like my scents, that's okay. But that was so burned. If I'm being honest. But yeah, whatever. I was just mad the whole day was a waste, and I missed out on actually making money at my actual job than wasting 8 hours of my life and time. Because I'm busy, so you wasting my time. She said sorry, but I'm still like, I was still kind of like annoyed that I did all that. I get no money back, literally not all. The second one. I went to one in Indiana because I paid for these like months in advance because I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I paid for these back in like August. You know, so. But anyway, I went to Indiana because Indianapolis is only two and a half hours away from me. And you know, it's an easy drive for me. I've never been out of state by myself driving before, so I have experience. But it wasn't that bad until I got to Sphere. People do not know how to drive in downtown Indianapolis. Just saying. No shade, but just saying. Some of y'all don't. Anyway, so then I went there. It was a lot bigger, and there was traffic. I was inside, and you know what? I think from now on, I'm gonna pick and choose outside because I did have an option of being inside and outside. It's just I thought to myself, okay, it'll be in October and I don't want to be outside. It's cold, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I was warm, but um, as you can imagine, the people outside got a lot more traffic than the people who are inside. And it was like the inside was like a house. So it means an organization, but the building was a house. So I barely broke even, and then the only reason I'm saying barely is because I made my money back for the event, but I didn't. But if you add on gas to that, I didn't make my gas money back out too. So I barely broke even. You know that I did learn something. So I bought these small vessels from Candle Science, and these because they match these. You know, they kind of match them anyway. And you know, I made 6 of these small ones in the Falling in Love scent, and they sold out. I only had 6 of them. Should have more. So I told myself, okay, the learning experience was I priced them low enough where, okay, people didn't want to buy the big ones. They didn't want to commit to the big ones. So I'm like, let me see how these small ones do. Literally ate them up. I wish I could have made more. You know, lesson learned. But don't tell me I took the crystal off. Anyway, so it was a lesson learned, but still, waste of money, wasted my time. I guess it shouldn't be a waste of my time. I did learn something. But again, I didn't make any money back, so I had to drive out of state for that. And then after that, I had another one in Xenia. If you don't know, if you're not from Ohio, Xenia is like 40 minutes away from me, or at least where I was going. It was like a church / school meshed together. So it was like in a gymnasium. It was like a holiday bazaar. I was like, and it was just like around Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay, I am not gonna make any money. I can tell right now I'm not. Like, and then also they stopped me right next to a candle vendor. Like 2 candle vendors right next to each other. Like, come on now. So, and like this candle vendor, it was like these 2 old people, married couple, and they had a lot. It was mainly candles too, but they also had wax melts and lip balms and body butters. They had a whole big setup too, like shelves and all that. I was like, dang, like my car could never. And anyway, at first it was slow. It was 8. This is 8 hours. First it was slow, and then had to be there at 9. So around like 12 or 1, like I'm starting to get like irritated. Like no one has really stopped by me, and no one has. People like it's in circles, so people are constantly revolving around, but people are barely stopping to see my display. And I guess it's weak. I guess. But then, luckily for me, there was this nice old lady. She came over. She said my stuff was cute, and I have candles burning in my event so they can see the messages in them. Because if you can see right here, focus. You know, focus. No, you can't see. It's too bright. Maybe if I. Anyway, oh, right there. You can see, as you see more hidden, but as you can see, you have to burn it to see the messages inside them. So that's like my selling point. Like, hey, your stuff's so expensive. Like, why? I'm like, well, for one, they're handmade. 2, it's the price. I said it. The price is the price. And 3, you know, it's a little special. No. So anyway, she saw that, and she literally bought all of my Real Life candles. I only had like 6 of them. So from that lady alone, I've made over $200 from her. And then another girl came over and she bought a candle for me. I didn't have no mini candles, just a big one. So, and I priced them at $35. So, and then another person came up and bought a wax melt, and I think 2 people bought room sprays for me. So overall, I think from that event, I made about $250. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, great. Next time, this place, we're doing this place again, because I'm not playing. So that was a good turnout. And then 2 weeks after that, I had another one, Zegna, and I'm like, okay, Zegna is my place. It's my place. This one, on the other hand, no, not a thing. I've had a person buy a wax melt for me, and I'm grateful for the sale, you know, but as you can imagine, I did not make my money back. It was like a charity. I didn't know that at first when I first looked at it. So they was like, yeah, we would like you to donate a portion of your sales to the charity. And I'm like, okay, well, it's charity. I didn't have nothing to give them, honestly, because they said I said 5% of my stuff, and if I only made $10, you know, like, here's a couple of dollars. Like, I don't know how I help them. I mean, shit, you know. It barely had traffic, but the people that was there stopped doing stuff at my table anyway. Oh, I had this lady come up to me, and she asked me, oh, how much are your candles? And I'm like, oh, $35. And she's like, for a candle? And I'm like, yeah, it's handmade, it has something special to it, and you know. And she just looked at me like I was crazy, and I'm just like, I'm thinking, I'm smiling to her, but like in my head, I'm like, if you didn't want to buy it, that's fine, but get out my face. Like, you're not gonna insult me. Like, you're not gonna like look like I'm stupid. Like, if you don't like my prices, that's fine, but just get away from me if you don't agree with what I have to say. But you know, I'm just like, yeah, that's why it's priced like this, you know. And honestly speaking, this is a note I want to tell people. You know how people say the retail should be 3 to 4 times the cost of goods? If you knew how much it made these candles, and you would tell me 35 is still too low, if we was to follow that 3 to 4 multiply rule, okay? But again, I know where I'm at, and I know people in Ohio, especially in this area, is not gonna buy a candle any much higher. Anyway, just yeah, because you have this, and then handmade, and then messages, and then we burn them, and you know, I gotta make profit. So at the end, it is a business. But anyway, so did not make money back, you know. Anyway, and then I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, I had another one 2 weeks ago. It was at a consignment studio in like an hour away from me, and I'm like, okay, like she told me I can do consignment with her too, so I'm like, okay, I can at least go and leave my stuff there when I'm done. Again, I was there 8 hours. Nope, no one bought for me. Nope. People barely looked at me too. And you know what? I thought it was because of my setup. I mean, it could be. But listen, there is this guy and his 2 children, literally. It's a bucket of Bio Butters and a red bucket with Bio Butters, and that's it. People was eating that up. Like, oh, he was sending his pitch to them without me asking, and like maybe I should do that too. Like, maybe I should be like, hey, like blah blah blah, like But the thing is too, like, people like stopped for a moment and looked at his table. People, like, let me tell you something. When it came to my table, or me, there was, okay, Jay Moy was like, oh, it's so nice, it's so cute. Me, there was like they did not want to look at me at all. I don't know why. Like, it's like they were trying to avoid contact. I said hi. People barely said hi back to me sometimes. And people barely looked at me at my table. Wasting my time. So, I did leave some stuff candle-wise to leave for a consignment. Still haven't got any sales from that. So, I don't know. I will say, though, I don't think I like events with kids, because I had kids come up to my table and there was like food there, and they like kids left their trash on my table, and they're kids, and I'm not that mad about it, but it's just like, that's low-key disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie, that is so disrespectful. Like, where's your parents? Like, and I didn't notice it till after the event was gone. Like, oh, people or kids were like, I'm not trying to bash kids, like, or literally they were like, sneeze, like, she would cough, and then they would like put their hands on my tablecloth or pick up my stuff. And I know adults probably do that too. I just don't see it, but it's just like, they have the nerve to do it in front of my face, and I was like, are you kidding me? So I like disinfect everything. Anyway, no, it was a waste of my time. And then most recently, last weekend, I went to another one. Not gonna say the names, but it was a 10-hour event. So let me paint you a picture. I get off at 11, Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends, when I work. And even though no matter how often how far in advance I set up things, I still end up spending the majority of the night doing like final touches no matter what I do. So I have to be there at 9. It's an hour drive. So in order to be there by 9, you gotta be there. I gotta get up at 8. I gotta leave by 8. And in order to leave at 8, I have to get up 7. And I didn't go to sleep till like past 3:30. So let's say 3 hours sleep. And the drive there was horrible for me. I don't know why it was so hard. I didn't get on a highway. It was mainly back roads. It was like an hour away. Like, somehow Indiana was easier than that. But anyway, so I went there. When I walked in, I was like, oh God, this is so bad. It's not, hey, let me backtrack. It was a flea market space, and it was kind of run down. But on the flyers, it says like, oh, they have hundreds of people come every year to their stuff. And I know people can lie, but I just had hopes people wouldn't lie like about stuff like that. But anyway, maybe people did in the past. I don't know. So it was a flea market area, and there was like 10 vendors, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm here, so I'm gonna try. Set up my stuff, set up wrong. So I had to set up again. Then I broke 2 of the small candles. I was pissed, as you can imagine. And then I went to the bathroom. I got a leak door because the roof was leaking. So I was kind of mad. No one barely showed up. And the people that did show up, this is the main stuff they said to me. Oh, I didn't see you there. Oh, well, I always spent my money up front. I was like, I don't know how you can't see me because I'm the biggest table there. Or second biggest table there. But maybe I'm just not display isn't special enough. Anyway, people barely looked at me. Like, I changed up my setup, I dressed extra nice. No, it was I did not sit there for 10 hours. It was snowing too. Like, I left at like 3 or 4. And people were like, yeah, you're leaving? I'm like, yes. And they felt bad. Like, I drove like an hour away to come here and I didn't get no sales. And it's not their fault I didn't get sales. Like, well, it's their fault I didn't get traffic. But it's not their fault I didn't get sales. Because if people don't like it, they just don't like it. So, and then I asked other people around me, like, hey, was you here at the last event? Like, was it this slow? And they was telling me, oh yeah, it's always slow. I'm just like, so they lied? Or are they exaggerating? Or do they not know what slow and a lot means? Like, you know. But the lady was nice. She said, she was like, oh, but make sure you come back next year for the big I-75, I-70 sale. It's nationwide and like the biggest like sale on the street or the highway on that route in the country every summer. And it's like, maybe, but I don't know. Okay. Whole point of the updates were basically I learned some things. Like, for one, make smaller candles because, you know, people are cheap. And that's how it is. And then 2, be more selective of where I go. Because, okay, not dissing anyone, but looking back at it, did I really expect to see people would buy a $35 candle at a flea market setup? No. The girl next to me, she made crafts out of toilet paper and toilet paper rolls, selling for $2 or $3. People are constantly stopping by and buying from her. I overheard it, and I'm just like, I don't get that. Like, I'm not hating on no one. It's just that's the type of crowd that will be at that type of place. No shade. So if I want my stuff to be taken more seriously and not have the price point questioned, I can't be going to flea market shows or like not even high school craft shows. I don't even think would do it for me. Like, I need like actual pop-ups, not craft shows, from what I'm seeing. And then make more mini candles, because let's be honest, aren't they cute? Like, aren't they cute? I mean, but the big ones are cute too. Anyway, so yeah, so it's been mostly disappointing, if I'm being honest with you. Online sales have not been hitting, you know, so that's my update. And then hopefully next video when I give you another update, actually, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna do any more pop-ups until like summertime, unless there's something that I know for a fact, which I don't, that would give me a good turnout in the wintertime. I think, at least in my area, once it gets cold, people are just not coming out. And yeah, so, but yeah, that's all I have. And then also, if you made it to the end of the video, I wanted to give you a special gift. So, since you made it this far into the video, if you would like, I will give you a discount code right on the screen. You can save 30% off of your purchase. Limited time, obviously. So, you know, if you want to buy a small candle, a big candle, let me readjust this, a big candle, This is the one that the lady got 6 candles up, by the way. This was good. Spicy. Oh, wax most, or I don't have my, I took my roast braids down for a bit. But yeah, so 30% off. Feel free to share not only the discount, but like, share, and subscribe to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye.